June 14th, 2025. President Trump's 79th birthday dawns in a nation already simmering with tension and uncertainty. Instead of a quiet celebration, the president orchestrates a massive multi-million-dollar military parade in the heart of Washington, D.C., a spectacle unlike anything the city has seen in decades. Tanks, helicopters, and 7 million pounds of military hardware thunder through the streets, officially to honor the Army's 250th anniversary. But the display is impossible to ignore. For millions of Americans, it's not a tribute, it's a show of force, a spectacle that feels more like a coronation than a celebration, and it sends a chill through the crowd. Years of divisive politics, harsh immigration crackdowns, and relentless attacks on democratic institutions have left the country deeply polarized and on edge. The $45 million price tag only adds fuel to the fire, symbolizing a government more interested in spectacle and self-aggrandizement than in addressing the real needs of its people. For many, this parade is the final straw, a cartoonish display of strongman theatrics that crystallizes long-held fears of creeping authoritarianism and unchecked executive power. In response, the No Kings movement is born, a coalition of grassroots groups, activists, and ordinary citizens who see the parade as a dangerous step toward a presidency without limits. Their message is clear. While the president celebrates himself, the people must reclaim their voice and their democracy before it's too late. The timing is perfect, the imagery unmistakable. Military might on one side, defiant citizens on the other. The parade becomes the flashpoint for a nationwide response, igniting protests and demonstrations in cities from coast to coast. Not with violence, but with millions of voices rising together to say, enough. The people demand to be heard. The stage is set for a protest that will challenge the very foundation of the administration's authority and test the strength of American democracy itself. The people are ready to be heard, and this time they refuse to be ignored. Every movement needs a rallying cry, a phrase that captures the hopes, frustrations, and demands of the people. It's the heartbeat of a cause, echoing through streets and across generations. For this movement, that rallying cry is clear. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. These words are painted on signs, chanted in unison, and shared online. 3 words loaded with history, rejecting the idea of unchecked power. They're a direct challenge to any leader who would place themselves above the people. The slogan taps into America's founding spirit, born from rebellion against monarchy. It's a reminder of the revolution that shaped the nation's identity. No Thrones rejects absolute rule, refusing to accept any seat of power that stands above the law or the will of the people. No Crowns rejects the symbols of power, reminding us that authority should never be inherited or unaccountable. No Kings is a direct rebuke to a presidency seen as overreaching, a warning against the rise of any would-be monarch in a democracy. It's not just anti-Trump, it's pro-democracy, a call to return to government by the people, for the people. It's a demand for accountability and transparency. The phrase spreads like wildfire, on shirts, signs, and social media. It becomes a digital rallying point, uniting strangers in a common cause. It unites millions. From big cities to small towns under a single unmistakable banner, the message resonates across backgrounds and beliefs. The full chant, the corruption has gone too far. No thrones, no crowns, no kings, diagnoses the problem and prescribes the cure. It's a call to action, not just a complaint. It's a reminder. America has faced kings before and rejected them. The fight for self-rule is woven into the nation's DNA. The movement frames itself not as radical, but as a defense of core American values: freedom, equality, and the right to be heard. The slogan becomes the anthem of a new revolution, one demanding accountability, not coronation. It's a movement for the future, rooted in the lessons of the past. Across the country, the cry echoes: the people, not the president, are sovereign. The power of the nation rests with its citizens. The message is clear and impossible to ignore. It's a demand for a government that serves, not rules, a cry that will not be silenced. How do you organize millions without a central leader? The No Kings movement turns to technology. QR codes become the secret weapon, simple, anonymous, and everywhere. Scan a poster, and you get protest details, shareable graphics, talking points, and contact info for officials. No headquarters, no single leader, just a viral, decentralized network. Each person who scans a code becomes an organizer, spreading the message further. This horizontal structure makes the movement resilient. If one group is shut down, thousands more keep going. The digital strategy builds community before anyone hits the streets. Memes, videos, and infographics flood social media, using humor and sharp commentary to keep energy high. The message is constantly remixed and reinforced online. The movement's digital town square buzzes with activity, laying the groundwork for massive turnout. The internet isn't just a tool, it's the movement's lifeblood. The revolution is organized, one scan and one meme at a time. Protest Day arrives, and the scale is staggering. This isn't just New York and LA. It's over 2,000 communities, all 50 states. Millions take to the streets, making it one of the largest single-day protests in US history. Philadelphia draws up to 80,000, Los Angeles 30,000. But the real story is local hundreds in Boise, dozens in rural Texas, all united. The QR code model makes protests hyper-local and accessible. No need to travel, just show up in your own town. Parents, seniors, rural Americans all find a place in the movement. The protests aren't just coastal or elite. They're everywhere, reflecting deep, nationwide frustration. News and social media fill with images. Crowds marching, bridges blocked, candlelight vigils. Each event is unique, but all chant the same message. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. The breadth of dissent is undeniable. This is not a fringe, it's a movement demanding to be heard. Zoom in, and you see the movement's true diversity. History teachers march with union workers. Climate activists walk with veterans. The protests become a big tent for grievances, united by a defense of democracy. Creativity flourishes, homemade signs, art, satire, and even read-ins and free food for protesters. In DC, veterans protest the use of the military as a political prop, ending in peaceful arrests that go viral. These stories give the movement its soul. A grandmother at her first protest, an immigrant family declaring "We are Americans too." Tech workers design QR posters, chefs feed the crowd. Each person brings their own reason, their own hope or fear. On this day, all those stories merge into a single powerful narrative. The movement is human, relatable, and deeply American. Together, they stand for a vision of what the country should be. Most protests are peaceful, but violence erupts in some cities. In Salt Lake City, a gunman opens fire, injuring a protester and spreading panic. In San Francisco and Virginia, drivers deliberately plow into crowds. Confrontations with police escalate in Los Angeles, with tear gas and flashbangs dispersing crowds. In Texas, threats force the evacuation of the state capitol. These incidents, though rare, dominate headlines and give critics ammunition. Organizers grapple with safety and the risks of mass mobilization in a polarized nation. The violence doesn't define the movement, but it casts a shadow. It's a stark reminder of the nation's deep divisions. The day is both a testament to peaceful protest and a warning of the fragility of peace. The administration's response is swift: dismiss, deflect, and threaten. The White House calls the protests a failure, ignoring clear evidence of millions in the streets. President Trump claims, "I don't feel like a king," painting himself as a victim of obstruction. He sidesteps the core criticism, reframing the issue as his own struggle. State leaders go further. Florida's governor threatens harsh punishment for rioters. Texas's governor vows to deploy the National Guard, posting FAFO, F around and find out. The message protesters are either irrelevant or dangerous. No acknowledgement of legitimate grievances, only polarization. The administration's hardline stance deepens the divide, turning civic engagement into another front in the culture war. The battle lines are drawn and dialogue is nowhere in sight. Humor becomes the movement's secret weapon. Memes, satire, and wordplay turn anger into viral content. The No Kings slogan is meme gold, crowns photoshopped onto the president, mock movie posters, and historical paintings with modern captions. Humor demystifies power, turning the parade into a punchline instead of a threat. Sharing memes builds community and morale, especially in the face of official dismissals. Laughter becomes a shield, helping people process anxiety and stay engaged. The meme ecosystem keeps the message alive online, dominating the conversation. Activists set the narrative, framing king-like power as absurd and un-American. The jester's wit proves as powerful as the protesters' roar. In the digital age, humor is both a weapon and a rallying cry. When the dust settles, what's left is more than just echoes of chants and scattered signs. It's a new blueprint for protest, a template for how ordinary people can make their voices heard. The No Kings movement proves that ordinary citizens, armed with a clear message and smart tech, can challenge power on a massive scale. It's a reminder that activism today is as much about digital connection as it is about marching in the streets. Decentralized, leaderless, and resilient, it bridges online organizing with real-world action. The movement's strength lies in its ability to adapt, mobilize quickly, and stay flexible in the face of changing circumstances. Future movements will study its model: distributed power, viral ideas, and local action. Its influence will ripple outward, inspiring new generations to rethink how change is made. But the legacy is also a warning. Violence and official hostility reveal deep fractures in society, and the path to progress is rarely smooth. Even peaceful protest can be dismissed or demonized by those in power, who may fear the disruption of the status quo or the challenge to their authority. The real challenge is building bridges and finding common ground, transforming confrontation into conversation and protest into progress. No Kings is more than a one-day event. It's a reassertion of citizen power and democratic ideals, a call to action that continues long after the crowds disperse. Whether it marks a turning point is uncertain, but it's a new chapter in the American story, one that will be written by those who refuse to be silent. The people's voice remains the most powerful force in democracy, echoing through the streets and across digital networks alike. And they declare, for all to hear, no thrones, no crowns, no kings. The future, they insist, belongs to the people.